Hello guys, and welcome back to the Manufacturers Cup. Today we're here for round 3 out of 4 at Autopolis. And jumping straight into qualifying, this is the first race of the series that's going to be decided purely off race pace. There's going to be no strategy, no pit stops or anything like that. It's just purely the fastest driver wins. So through turn 1 they're a little bit slidey as we make our way through, braking at the path on the left hand side there as we make our way through a couple left hand turns down into first to get better acceleration out of the corner, and just modulating the accelerator here just to get the perfect speed, get the perfect distance to run out onto the curbs on the outside, braking at the second arrow down into the first for the hairpin, now heading down the hill, braking just before the 50 into third and take that corner pretty quickly. We are closing up a lot to the car in front here, which is going to affect our lap a little bit there, as we're just not able to get the power down as quickly, losing a bit of time, taking a bit too much curb there. But ultimately, on to the end of the lap, it is going to get us up onto pole position by just over a tenth, and our next lap is not an improvement so far, but we just get taken out unfortunately. So through the last sector it was looking pretty good, so we might have had something, but either way we still managed to come out in P1, first lap being the best, the one that I needed. So heading into the race now, this will be my first of 2. I only managed to get 2 races in for this week, and I'll probably only manage 2 races next week as well. But I'm recording daily races in between to try and get some of those videos out after the Manufacturers Cup, and I might start recording some F1 23, maybe a bit of Assetto Corsa and whatnot, as there's 30 points on offer for the win here, so hoping to get maximum points straight away. If we do manage the 30 points, that'll be the most we score, the biggest score so far this series. As there we are, lined up, P1, 1:47.5. A pretty decent lap. Got the windscreen wipers on for some reason, just making sure there's no rain. I'm going to have the shortest run down to turn 1 out of everybody, so I've got to be careful of the cars behind, especially P2, who will be able to come at me very quickly down the straight. Getting underway, and you can just see him in the radar getting closer and closer as we head down into turn 1, committing to the corner, just sort of claiming it as we go through, and pull out a gap about 6.5 tenths coming out of turn 1, now into the slower section of track. You can see him just sitting behind me in the radar there. It is quite difficult to overtake here, so a good qualifying position is very important. As we've actually pulled away a lot more, as we've seen in previous races. The pole sitter usually gets out of trouble off the first lap and can pull away by quite a decent margin throughout the lap, which is exactly what we're going to do here. Gap out to 1.6 seconds, 1.7 now, as we come towards the end of the first lap. The left-hand side tyres are going to be very worn on the soft tyres for this race. The front left is going to be very worn throughout the entire race, just because I think there are 11 left-hand turns and a lot of them long and high speed. That's right-hand turns, sorry. Only a couple left-handers, mainly low speed. As you can see, the gap behind was 1.8 when we crossed the line, and it has come down to 1.1 seconds now onto the second lap, as we've got a new car chasing us for the lead. It's now the Toyota. And you can see that gap coming within a second now. So obviously a very quick driver behind us. Unlike last week at the Tokyo Expressway, where the Honda NSX was obviously the fastest car by a long shot over all the others, this week there wasn't really a standout. It was all even, just a mixed bunch of cars in the top of the timings. So it's more based on driving style and what you can do for your pace. As we set the fastest lap, the car behind goes even faster by a second over that lap. So we've got to be very cautious of him getting on the back of us. Gap 6.5 tenths behind. You can see him there right behind in the radar. He'll be looking side to side, trying to force me into a mistake, trying to manufacture a move out of nothing. But so far we're doing pretty well to keep him behind. Moving on to lap 4, you can see the gaps come out to 2 seconds. So I didn't let the pressure get to me. I just kept driving consistently throughout the lap just to make sure I wasn't going to get caught by him. Just looking back, you can see it's quite a while back. Our lap times are improving. On to lap 6 now, 2.5 seconds. We're actually going to come up to lap the car here, who I assume is not the best. Luckily, we get to go straight through him, but he starts doing donuts instead of continuing racing. But still leading the Toyota onto lap 8. They are 3 seconds ahead. So just pulling this gap out and making sure that we don't get caught. Any mistake could lose us lots of time with all the grass around this track and the new physics that have actually come into the game. This was my first race with the new physics. I had a little bit of a warm up trying to get used to it, but I've adapted pretty well. And on the grass it's a lot more difficult to recover and get back onto the track with these new physics. And onto the final lap now. Still leading by a comfortable margin. Just making sure to not make any mistakes. Secure ourselves a good 30 points. And you can see that front left has really taken a toll. It's really struggling. That's going to affect my grip levels throughout the final lap. But the Porsche among all the cars in the Manufacturers' Cup is one of the better cars on its tyres. So cars behind might be struggling a bit more than I am. But it's not exactly showing. You can see the Toyota is closed up a little bit. Gap was under 3 seconds for a little bit there. Coming up towards the end of the lap now. Getting ready, only 2 more corners to go. And one of them's just going to be flat out onto the straight. And towards the line now. We're going to come across the line to win our first of 2 races here at round 3 of the Manufacturers' Cup. Really good start to the weekend. Couldn't have asked for much better. No mistakes, just driving consistently throughout the entire race. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, I will have one more video from this round out later this week. Make sure to go check out some other videos. Like, subscribe, comment what other games I should play. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Go watch the old ones. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.